As we hinted and saw in the previous video, today we're going to have a look at video cameras, the JVC KY-2000 color video camera. Nice big unit. And also, probably, because I think they're very similar, we've got here the JVC KY-2700. As far as I know, these are pretty similar. We'll try and find out what the differences are, and we'll try them out, and we'll take a look inside. And I've got a service manual as well, so we take a look through that. And interestingly, that covers both models, so perhaps they are quite similar. Let's have a quick flick through this first. Should we look at the camera itself first? Maybe that would be more exciting. Just got all the bits and pieces here. Thank you for purchasing the JVC KY-2000 video camera. It's a portable, sturdy unit designed especially for versatility, ranging from outdoor to studio usage. Productions can be shot in a wide variety of situations, indoors or out, using this video camera, in combination with JVC color portable video cassette recorders. To gain maximum benefit, it is suggested you study this carefully. That's good. It's got a C-mount lens. Oh, with a special mount provided. Tube, it's got 17.7mm or 2/3 of an inch electrostatic focus and electromagnetic deflection Saticon tubes with high voltage operation for high resolution. It's self-contained. It's still just a camera. Highly mobile. Compact, rugged, lightweight, aluminum die-cast body. Nice, it's only 5 kilograms. Or 5.2 without lens and viewfinder, so they add more. Plug-in circuit boards, oh, we're going to have a look at that. Automatic beam control, auto white balance with 8-bit digital memory. Contour correction, color temperature correction, electronic viewfinder, 1.5-inch portable viewfinder, or the 5-inch studio viewfinder are optionally available. Now, unfortunately, I don't have studio viewfinder. The camera can be powered by 12 volts, and there's an AC adapter that allows it to run on 110-120 volt supply, and it can also be powered by the camera control unit, as far as I know, using that same adapter, I think, from memory. We have a look at that. So there's some special specifications here showing the difference. The difference is signal sensitivity and signal to noise ratio. Well, they're actually the same. Okay. Registration. Slightly better registration by the look of it. And vertical is single-edged, but then dual-edged contour correction on the 2700 model. Okay. And then the power is different. The 12 volts, it needs more power for the 2700 model. Yes, it says there the AC adapter is 120 volt AC or 140 volt DC from the RS2000, the remote station, I guess they call it. This thing here. Unfortunately, I don't have that. I also don't have the studio viewfinder. It's a shame, but yeah, that's just how it is. It's like that, power adapter, viewfinder up there. Or we can connect it to VTR, and yeah, when you're using it remotely, does it show any pictures of that? No. Using the remote control unit, you use the power supply on the back of it, and that will convert the high voltage that comes from the remote control unit into 12 volts, and it does it all through just the one XLR connector. I think there's a battery in there. I have to look at that. That's probably leaked and gone bad. A 6-volt battery, like a 4SR44 or a 4G13 or a PX28, and lasts about 3 months. Wow. Okay, so it's not very long lasting. Right, let's look at the actual thing, because that's going to be more exciting than just staring at some pages. So on the video camera, there is the usual kind of stuff that you'd find down in this corner. the off, standby and operate selection switch, color bars on and off, and sensitivity adjustment. There's the filter turret adjustment and that's got color filters for different white balance, range and ND filter, and also a closed option for when there's no lens mounted. Then there's an iris auto manual control, and then there is viewfinder and test output selections, auxiliary off and the encoded video output, the auxiliary input coming back from CCU, whether it's showing red or blue only, and whether it's green or minus green, I think, something like that. The viewfinder is up here and it connects by a cable next to the lens cable, and you can see the tube of the viewfinder is in here, and then it goes through 2 sets of mirrors, presumably like in there and then across there to come out of the eye hole here. There's a contrast and brightness control, tele lights on the front, and there is manufactured in something 1980. I think it might be a month, maybe September or something, November, anything like that. In 1980, so this is a pretty old unit. 1980, that means it's like 45 years old at this point. Okay, on the other side there is a little door that opens up, and that gives you the registration controls and a few other things there for setting up alignment of the 3 tubes. So you need to do that enough that it's easily accessible without taking a cover off. Got on the lens here the VTR start stop button, a remote control connector, so you like remote zoom when it's mounted on a tripod or pedestal, and it's got a nice little metal cap on it, zoom control, return video selection, I think that is, so you can monitor what's coming back rather than the live video. On this hump at the back there's a video output, an earphone connector, a microphone input, there's an intercom connection there, there's this special bracket thing where the viewfinder would attach to. Oh yeah, the memory battery there, and then underneath this back part is the main output connector or CCU connector and the power DC power connector. On this side there's the test output and Genlock input and a fuse, 3.15 amp fuse. Good, don't really need to look at that, but there you go. And then the lens is standard sort of deal there with a zoom control, an iris control, and focus. Of course it's manual focus. And yeah, that screws, you undo that screw to take the lens off, or unscrew that thread. I did want to have a look. There's that battery backup in there. I wonder if that's got a crusty old battery in it or not. No, luckily nothing dodgy in there. That's a relief, because that could have caused some damage. Except that thing doesn't want to go back at all, does it? Okay, well let's just quickly have a look at the 2700 model and see if there are any noticeable differences. It looks like the same situation here with controls, sensitivity, bars, same looking viewfinder. This one does have the extra bracket on the back so that the AC adapter could be mounted on there, although I don't have one. The connectors are in better condition. It's got the same little door there for getting at. Wow. That's not in as good condition, is it? Because it doesn't want to open. Oh well. The rest of it's in seems to be in much better condition, less corrosion. Let's check whether there's a battery in this one. Seems no battery in. Oh no, there is a battery in this one. was expecting it to pop out easily. Look at that, it's a national brand, 4LR44. Oh, so that's like a package of 4 button cells to make 6 volts. Do not dispose of in fire. Wow, look at that. A national brand battery. That's going back a bit, isn't it? We'll just leave that out just in case of bad things happening. Now, from memory, last time I used these cameras, which again was like, I don't know, more than 15 years ago probably, some quite long period of time ago, one of them was working reasonably well and the other one I think was missing a color. So let's just have a go at them, see if there's any signs of life now, and then we'll take perhaps the worst performing one apart to have a look inside. I suspect that both of them are not working. I remember it was very much on its last legs with capacitors being all going bad as usual. Okay, we've got a power supply here. Hook that up and we'll go fire in the hole. Let's have this in view so we can see what happens when this gets kicked into life. And we need to put a video output, don't we? So the video output's on the other side, so we can't have it tipped over with that connected. It'd be good if we could at least get some bars visible on the output here. I don't want to ruin my connector. Okay, let's do this. Oh yeah, look at that, bars come up straight away, pulling 19 watts. So we'll be warming up the tubes with the bars on. Oh, look at that. That's like 3 tubes coming to life, isn't it? And there's a picture. Oh, so maybe this is in perfect working order. Does seem to be the case, doesn't it? Wow. I don't know, is that perfect working order? It's still drawing 19 watts. Picture's a bit mushy. Now, what about the white balance? Ah, yeah, we forgot to look on the front edge here. There's a couple more controls. There's a white balance, auxiliary, and another VTR start-stop switch. So if we point it at a white surface, do the white balance. It made the auto iris do something. So we are at maximum gain, but I guess it's not all that bright here, is it? Okay, it's sort of working. Does it have red? Yeah, look at that, it's a Thunderbolt 5 hub. Oh, that's a surprise. Does the viewfinder work? No, not at all. Oh no, it does work. It's just that control, you have to push it in quite hard to make it operate. Huh. Okay, it has a pretty nice bright picture in there. Telly. Alright, so I guess we got a perfect working condition. A reasonably good working condition. Pretty reasonable working condition KY-2000 camera. Let's try the test output on it. Let's see, because that... those controls don't really change much. Weird, I thought that was for changing what type of like color or signal was coming out of it. Anyway, that's good, I guess. Right, let's power that off and we'll try out the other one, see what it is up to. Do we need this? Oh, we'll have a flick through it in a bit. Anyway, let's get this one cooking. So supposedly this draws even more power. Okay, let's see. 29 watts briefly. Bars come up right away. Put it to normal mode. Red. That's it. Guess we're up and running. Ah, maybe this is the one that's got the problems. Wow, the lens is really stiff on that. 25 watts. The 2700 model draws more current than the other one, the 2000 model. And also does not work as well. I'll try white balance that. Yeah, I guess that's an absence of blue, isn't it? Although that still looks blue. But it's an absence of green. What kind of green things do we have here? This wire's green. Yeah, no green. Right, we'll take this one apart and have a go in it. The viewfinder seems to work alright on this one as well. Look at that power zoom. Yeah. Ah, look at that. There's a black dot in the center of the picture there. But it's pretty hard to notice. Right there, there's a black dot. So maybe this one's been pointed at the sun or something. Definitely the viewfinder has seen its fair share of sun. When you look in there, it's all melted. It's also melted up here. And that eye cup thing is really falling apart. Anyway, bars. Let's take this apart and have a look inside. See what goodies lie within, or tell the truth within. Goodies. There are goodies in this thing. So this one's got the microphone holder in there. A nice screw for taking it off. Let's get all the bits off so we can investigate them. These are quite nice connectors. Multi-pin, like screwed retention mount thing. I'm surprised these are still in somewhat operable state. Viewfinder, 12 volts, 3.6 watts. I thought that's manufactured at Hachioji plant in Tokyo. Interesting. Now we can see, to take the lens off, undo this thread, which is part of the lens. Nice ring. Oh yeah, and that you pull that out to unlatch the zoom motor, so that you can do it like by cable zoom, screwing a little thing on there which that gears mesh with those two rings, so focus and zoom can be remotely done. Pull for manual, push for servo. It gets really stiff then because it's connecting the motor, or like the other one, you can connect up remotes through those connectors, electronic remotes. It's been dropped. It's smashed in that, so you won't be able to put any filters on there anymore. There's inside that. Okay, let's have a little quick look through this, see if there's anything good in here. It's got a block diagram showing the lens, color temperature filter, the first something lens, then there's mirrors, and there's, what do they call that? Oh, dichloric mirrors to split the colors up, 3 tubes, preamps, MTDFs, SH, process, encoder, output. Says it's a C mount. Is that the same? It's not the same kind of C mount as you get on on security cameras. It's a bigger thread, flange distance, aperture, unified screw thread, 32 threads per inch. A special mount, which the outer groove screw of the lens mount is 52mm diameter, pitch 1mm for heavy zoom lens. Yeah, I guess it was regular little C mount, then it would rip off. It's the pin out of the tubes. Oh, look at that. There's a diagram there showing the lens mount. That's pretty nice. The flange distance, 1 inch thread. Oh, I see. So it can actually take C-mount lenses by screwing them into there. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Let's explore that for a little bit. I had not realized that that's what they were talking about. No, here's a standard C-mount lens. Again, it's been dropped and dented. Of course it has. This is a pretty nice zoom, which you can stick on your security cameras to get a good reach. And that's a C-mount. Oh, look at that. No, not looking at that. Where are we? Yeah, we are. Look at that. Goes right on there. Interesting. Who'd have known? Interchangeable lens camera. Of course it is. Yeah, that's a cunning trick that I hadn't realized before. That's why they talk about C-mount. Yeah, this is a pretty nice lens. You can take the C-mount off. So presumably there were other mounts available for this. TV zoom 1 to 1.2, and it's 12.5 to 75mm. It's about normal for a lot of video cameras of this age. Preamp circuit there. A FET, sensitive FET, 60 volts. Integrator. Tells you what all the boards do. SH board, first stage of the video process amplifier, static shading, dynamic shading, compensator, and auto white balance circuit. The PR board, high sense circuit, amplifier, black level detector, gamma compensation, blanking mixer, black slicer. CC board, contour correction, noise slicer. EN board, it's the encoder. Contains the color bar generator and the IQ color encoder. Bars generator. There's like a counter thing. The color encoder. SG board, sync signal generator and genlock circuit. I was using a nice chip that does the sync generator stuff. Yeah, that chip's got all that business in it. So it outputs like horizontal drive, clamp, composite sync, burst, blanking, various blankings, subcarrier maybe, vertical drive, all the good things that it needs. Gen locking circuit, generator lock so you can synchronize the camera to an external reference. DF board, deflection. CT board, automatic aperture control. AU board, audio. Intercom amplifier, contains an intercom amplifier. How to disassemble it. Replacement of the tubes. Oh, how to go through all that stuff. How often you have to do that. Adjustment procedure. It's got everything we need to get this thing back into perfect shape. Now let's try find the AC adapter. These that fold out multiple times. Nicely produced manuals. Tube connections. I spent a lot of time in this manual trying to get the camera to go. Don't have extension boards, so it's hard to deal with. Replacing various capacitors, and I don't think I really got anywhere in the end. It was a long time ago. Yes, it's got the camera. There is that connector on the back of the camera, and I've got this cable which would allow you to connect it to a VCR with a 10-pin camera connector. That's very thick and high leverage, even though it just has the normal composite video, audio, and a start-stop signal. And I don't think it will be bringing power across, because the normal little VCRs won't be able to power up the camera. So that's that. So this is like an interconnect diagram showing how all the various boards are connected. Overall wiring. There's schematics. Well, there you go. Look, zoom remotes. Various types. Oh, that looks like the cable type, doesn't it? And electronic types. Okay, here's the remote control unit. RS-2000, wasn't even mentioned on the front. I guess it was. Yeah, remote control unit. Look at AC adapter as well. So that's that, which you can then use for remote control of a few things and getting the RGB out in sync. The studio viewfinder, that guy. The regular viewfinder, and this is the power adapter. Power adapter, which has an AC input, but it can also be used for the remote control unit. As we said, input 120 volt AC or 140 volts DC. There's a switch mode power supply. This power supply unit, a switching transistor which can withstand high voltage, operates at high speed to convert DC voltage or rectify it from the AC to attain high frequency. The scheme improves the transformer's efficiency and makes the unit compact and lightweight. Yes, it's just a switch mode. Just a switch mode. Got the circuit diagram of it. Is it that? Oh, okay, it's pretty basic. A self-oscillating type thing, no controller, and presumably has feedback here between those optocoupler there. And I think when you plug in the AC cable, it switches over whether it from being a DC input or to being the AC input. Circuit board. That's it. Alright, that's really good. Let's get into this thing. This is what we came here to see, isn't it? Take something apart. And you see the screws are all quite big, wide, as though you're supposed to be able to do it with like a 5-cent coin or something. Or any coin that will fit in that slot. It's not unusual for professional video cameras to have that. It's a control layout. And look, here's the thing. It says, please use the correct size screwdriver. Look, it's got one of those good hour meters there. So we've got some boards, and then boards in a rack, card frame kind of thing. It's labeled where they go, which is nice. And then there's some boards on the side. And if we flip this over to have a look down the other side, what do we have? We have a missing screw. I like that it's an orange color. That makes it a lot more exciting than other boring grey, black video cameras. These JVC have got some style. Why isn't that door open? It does. Interestingly, this one, where does that go? Most of the stuff's blocked off by this sheet. So I guess you're not supposed to adjust that much after all. That's strange, isn't it? Crust around here. So that's the back of the backplane, the connector's there. And then there's some ribbon cables going down there. There's a board on the bottom that this one's plugged into. These look like the cables coming off the backs of the tubes. You'll see high voltage generators somewhere. Looks like that. There is one with that high voltage cable there. Dust is statically attached to it. Not sure how that thing gets down to the tubes. It seems to just be soldered into the board there. I would have thought that each tube would have their own transformer. They're supposed to be just flapping around in the breeze. There's kind of nothing holding it down. Guess so. There's a screw there. Maybe that's the deflection for the tubes there. Those 3 wires. Okay, let's have a look. Got HC. Oh, look, it's got a big cutout in it for the tubes to go. 3 tubes. HC board. Now, tubes have ended. Oh no, one of them hasn't, so that's still got a notch. Look at the way they've routed the tracks around the notch there. That's quite exciting. An interesting layout there to get around that stuff. To get around the notch. Yeah, chip says 44th week. 1980 44th week. That seems to correlate with the date we saw on the other camera. And yeah, that one says 50th week. 41. Yeah, it all makes sense. And yeah, that's a double-sided board with through-hole plating. Pretty nice. The VC board. And we've got the SH board. Well, that's the first one that we can have the full thing not taken over by tubes. You see though, the tube's really close to it, so where the back of the tube goes, they put these lower profile trimmers. That's pretty nice design, isn't it? The proper system integration We know the back of the tube right there. So arrange low profile components only in that area. That's forward thinking. Some like AMD DAC DAC-08C 8047 as the date code. Pretty interesting. More capacitors, a lot of capacitors. Double-sided board. The PR board. Look at that, this has some kind of hybrid module things on it. That's pretty interesting. And a lot of transistors there. I'm wondering if those... Did I replace caps on this? I don't think so. It's just that they're different color than the ones that we saw on the other boards. So unless this was a newer board that's been replaced at some point, doesn't have a date code that I can see. Interesting. And finally the EN board, the encoder. Oh, so I think that's supposed to be in there. Little screws falling off. Like plastic head screw, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I think that will insulate from the metal backing. Anyway, this is the encoder board, which, yeah, got back to that color of capacitors. Yeah, 8043 on that chip there. Delay line, maybe? This is a Powell version. Interesting. That's good stuff. Now, in the back of the back plane, or on the back plane, there's a few more parts down there. And there's a bunch of stuff on the end where the connections come in. I wonder if we can get that out and look at it. Let's see what happens if we undo these. Does it just come off? It does, but there are wires. Will that come off? And get out of the way. No, it doesn't want to come off. Just the like the nut that's in there pushes out. Yeah, the cables are laid nicely in the bottom there, out of the way. And yeah, that's the AU board that we looked at in the instructions. There seems to be some kind of adjustment there. Must be the level of the microphone input. Let's see. Looks like you can just... Is that a switch? I think so. Minus 70 or minus 20 dB. Interesting. I don't know if it would let us take that board out because it's probably attached by wires to the connectors on the other side. Oh, it comes out. Oh, look at that! It's a switch that can get dragged to either side depending on the gain you want. Yeah, look at that. There's a few transistors, SIL packaged op amp, and a relay in there. Pretty nice. Okay, let's see what's under this cover. We've also got this cover. Is that... What are we missing? Was it signal generator? Is this the preamp part? Maybe it's deeper. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's the preamp there. Preamps. Yeah, so you can see there the wires coming into that will be the ones coming off the target or pickup part of the tubes and amplified. It's just one board in there, but it's got these shield plates soldered into the PCB. So all the outputs are on this wire here. That's pretty nice. Looks like this board here would just come out if we undo one screw. Yeah. There's not really anything we can access under there. That's the mirrors and beam splitter part inside a die-cast box where we can't easily get to it. Just put that back there for now. Okay, what's in this box up here? Ground wire on that screw. I don't really want to destroy this nice camera, so maybe we won't pull it apart too much. Oh, that doesn't just come off. Oh, how do you get that out? Some kind of plier edge on there. What have we got here? The SG board. Ah, look at that. So that's that nice sync generator chip. Bunch of good things on there. Nice double-sided board. Well, yeah, double-sided tracks. Probably all hand-drawn. Pretty good. The sync generator is all nicely sealed away so that it doesn't receive interference from other things. Ah, you can see that battery that goes in there. This little guy, it just pushes onto a screw there, which will be the positive, I believe, and the ground is just the chassis, the negative. Ah, look at this, the filters here can come out with filter turret. It's just, oh, it's got 2 dead spaces, 1 and 5 are both closed on this one. Yeah, that looks like it's, yeah, they decided not to implement that one. Yeah, they're a bit crusty, going mildewy. Did that get wrecked? Why doesn't it lock it? It's still locking in. Why wasn't it locking in after I put it back in? No, I think it, yeah, the bit of the housing pushes on the little ball detent thing, so it becomes stronger when it's in there. Okay, let's check out the other side. Oh yes, the sync gen plugs into that connector there. Now I wonder if we can get this out so we can have a look behind it. There's holes through it for adjustment screws. Oh, it's back focus. Rotation and back focus for the tubes. And what is that other one? Says there. R lock. G lock. B lock. Okay, so that locks the tubes in place, and the 2 is for rotation and back focus, like the distance of the face of the tube to the lenses, so that you can calibrate it to have these markings on the lens for the focus distance actually correlate with real measurements. Is that it? 2 screws? There's not very many screws holding stuff in for a device that's meant to be portable. Now we have to undo something. That at least has to be undone. Red. It's got red markings and these ones have green and blue. Does it say anywhere which one goes to which though? I don't know. Isn't really much point, is there? Yeah, it's all in a box. And that's taped down, but that tape covers over some screw holes that we might want to undo to have a look inside here. So that's the back of that. That looks quite crusty. It looks like it got really hot. Doesn't seem to be any sign of it getting hot over here, but it looks like really burnt out solder joints. Some kind of transformery thing. It does look like, yeah, that, probably this and that little flybacky thing. Then this high voltage wire goes all the way down, solders here, and then it goes to the last pin, which is separated on these 3 connectors. So yeah, it's not, maybe it's not that high a voltage, because it's not, doesn't look like high voltage wire being used, other than the bit that traverses the board. That's interesting. You could kind of ruin this by pulling that bit off of it. Oh no. That screw got munted. Yeah, the screwdriver wasn't the whole way in when I turned it. Look at that. Whoa. That's the good stuff in there. So when a light shines in, then, yeah, that gets reflected off, that gets reflected that way, and one goes straight through. So the 2 pieces of glass in there, special dichloric glass, which will reflect one wavelength and pass the others. So that reflects one, that reflects the other one, and the other wavelength of light will pass directly through into that one. And I think we know which is which. Yeah, red here, blue here, and green in the middle. Do I have a little light of some sort that we can quickly demonstrate that? Little light. Should we shine a very bright light into a sensitive device? Can we prove anything here? No, because we got the lens shut off. So of course not. Yeah, blue light's coming up to there. Red light is down here. And the green light we're going through. I think that's very good for the tubes, but yeah, this thing is definitely on its last legs, so it's of minimal concern perhaps. Wow, all of the good things. Yeah, so that's exciting. Say some random stuff for a while. Alright, first we'll just pop all this back together since... Oh look, there's some insulation tape around something. I don't know what that is. Oh, I wonder if that's me protecting a switch that broke. Like it's the auxiliary switch there. Maybe that broke. And so it's just been taped off so it doesn't short out or anything. Yeah, this baseboard goes all the way along there. And there's a bunch of connections. There's wires going up to the viewfinder mount. There is power supply looking board on the front there with some transistors on it. Okay, let's speed run putting this thing back together. And we'll see if it still doesn't work once it's all back together. Yeah, the power supply board up the front connects on there. I feel like there's something going on there. Why is that bulging up? Guess that's just how it rolls. Okay, is that everything on this side? Guess so. Everything else is put on from the other side. And we've got to get this end stuff sorted out. Yeah, getting these cables to lay in again is going to be fun, isn't it? Now this thing, yeah, fairly straightforward. Ah, that wire was tight because it wasn't quite clicked in. Alright then. We've got the sink gen, that special little cover thing. And then the cover for the preamps. Okay, that's good. Now we got some boards to put back in. That'll just be all nice and good, won't it? No worries. Now we've got the encoder board. The encoder board will hold that insulating sheet out of the way nicely. Great. Then we got the PR board. Personnel relations. Look at that, there are ICs vertically mounted on these modules. Wow, that's quite exciting. Looks like just ICs, nothing else. Maybe some bypassing caps. Just to get a little bit more stuff packed in there. Just mounted on a little sub-module. VC board stays there. Straddles the tube, then HC board straddles two tubes. Two tubes. Oh, we didn't look in the viewfinder. Gotta have a look in the viewfinder. Can we get this off? There. That it's all been arranged so that this stuff can come off there. Now, apart from that, where are the other screws? There? Is that it? Does it just come apart now? It does. Ooh, it's very melty. Just not going to touch this too much since we were running it before. But check that out. You can see a reflection of the front of the tube there in the mirror, and you can see how deformed the plastic is around the battery indicator and whatever that green one is. Record. Battery and record symbols are all melted up because of sunlight. The sun getting into the viewfinder and being magnified by that lens there, and then melting things. They look like pretty high quality pots they're used for that brightness and contrast controls. Just the tube down here and the input cable, then 2 boards, angled heatsink thing, 2 boards held together. Oh, that looks like the deflection there on a horrible stiff wire. Looks high voltage in there. Have we dislodged the mirror? No, it just has the corners cut off of it. Yeah, so there's a chip there, an JVC, which will be doing most of the heavy lifting, like separating the sync out of the composite signal and driving the deflection, or generating the deflection signals. And then the deflection will also be driving the high voltage transformer to get it all good. Slightly interlock there, pretty nice. Okay, that's a good unit. Very easy to open, just 2 screws. I guess most of the time it's being held together by the sleeves on the around the outside of where the tube is. There's some stuff that's unhappy in here, isn't there? Guess that's why all those wires are so poked down here, because they need to be out of the way of this housing when it comes together. Alright, while we're here, let's just juice this thing up for one last time and see whether we've ruined it or not. Perhaps we'll put on this C-mount lens just for fun, since that's the discovery of the day, is that you just stick regular C-mount lenses into this. Who would have known? If only I'd read the instructions before. Viewfinder. And we'll get the video output connection. We'll put that on, and we'll get the power. Then put it back to bars so we can see if that works when it comes up. Oh yeah, look at that, bars. And then on. Now, is this open or closed? Don't know. Not a lot doing, is there? Have I ruined it, or is... Oh no, it's on the closed off setting again, isn't it? No, it's on the closed off setting again, isn't it? Of course it is. So we just twiddle that around. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, it's all pretty dark and terrible, isn't it? That's at the maximum gain. Guess this lens is not quite as bright as the original one, but still there. Still, it also is not as close focusing. But yeah, we haven't made it worse, so I guess maybe that's us for today. We've had a good going over. Well, we didn't look in the other camera. We just briefly take the side off the KY-2000, just so that we can say that it was involved in this. Look at this big unit. Can we put it on there so we don't have to take the lens off? Look at that. Same sort of deal. Ah, the hour meter's there, so this board is different. Ah, no, we've got to take all this apart now. Yeah, so there are differences in the boards. You can see the layouts of them are different. Oh, that one doesn't even straddle the tube, it's just got a metal spacer. Interesting, so they've done some changes and improvements. There's quite a bit more stuff on this board compared to the KY-2000 version, which looks quite sparse. And also that is more basic. Yeah, so there's various improvements have been made. Great. I think we've gone on for too long. But there's plenty more JVC equipment to look at. So come back next time and we'll have a look at another one. Another thing. Maybe it's a VCR. Maybe. We'll see. So there you go. That's a look inside the KY-2700 JVC color video camera, and a brief look and discussion about the KY-2000 model, testing them out, having a look inside, giving them a poke about, putting it back together. Stay tuned next time, we'll take apart another thing.